All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Hello, hey, how we doing? Welcome.
Hey,
All right,
Mitch, how
guys.
you doing, man? That video, man, that gets me fired up. Did you
Hey,
do
let's
that?
go. Hey, well, one thing I put the template, but our man Enver has been working hard on bringing
Really?
those really good intros. So,
Jeez, man, that guy. Who's that smart guy on there talking about the markets?
hey, well, we know who the brains to the show is, right? Like
Yeah.
I always like to say on Spax Attack, we got some brains here. That's good. So, how did the overall market look today, Joel?
You know, it's higher than where we opened, so that's a good thing. Let's just break down things here. Pre-market low, never got there. That was 61 and a quarter. That was a good number. A little choppy off the open, caught a bid, tried to get up to the close. You guys know I like closes. That close from yesterday was 39.03. Got turned back at 38.99 and a quarter, and now we got a little bit of a fade going on. So the Bulls made their run. They got turned back, and now we're drifting towards the low of the interday session. So not a horrible day, not a great day, but the Bull, we're kind of leaking into the close here. So we'll see what happens here over the next 21 minutes. Crude bust out up 224, 61.50, trading in the after hours. I believe the high of the move is 62 and change. So big move in crude today. Gold, they had me shaking at that bottom of the trading range here. I was thinking of like jumping ship, but held with my gold and my GDX. Silver, that's perking up. That's up over $28, 28.17 and a half. That's up 92 cents. That's a big move for silver. And Bitcoin, baby, if you want volatility, almost a $10,000 range. We did talk about the Musk tweets this morning about Bitcoin, but that broke down to 48,320, turned around, and now it's down only 1430. And Tesla's in trouble. Do we have any new Tesla news, or is that just filed through from this morning?
I don't see anything new here, but I don't see anything new here, but definitely we could take a look at his tweets and how that affected. I have him.
Yeah.
I have him right here. I'll definitely pull him up here.
Okay.
And he really started it. On the 20th, he started with saying that if they pegged to $1 or something like that, and heard a rumor. He even posted a video about cryptocurrency explained. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to watch this video, but definitely click on it if you get a chance. I'm not going to show it here, but it's really interesting how he has no fear. 23 hours ago, he put Dojo and for Dodge, so he's having no fear here.
No.
What do you think
No.
about that, Joel?
I don't know, man. I tell you, if I ever start tweeting like that, I want you to come over here, get on a plane, and kick me aside the head, man, because I don't know. I don't like messing with. I like to give informational tweets, but hey, you want to see the richest man in the world? He can do what the hell he wants, but not a good day for Tesla. I don't know. I'm gonna have to draw a new line in here because we had that trading range. We broke out of the bottom of that trading range, and when you have areas that you go up through quickly, chances are you're going to go down through them quickly. So, man, oh man, I don't know. I don't want to say 600. Someone mentioned that in the chat this morning. I'm going to have to come up with some new magic here. We got to get rid of these lines because they're no longer relevant. So let's get rid of those. And I think I know what I'm going to do. I talked about this morning. I didn't pull the trigger on it. But man, this was a stealth move for 400. You guys know I like my 50% retracements. This is simple math. Even I could do it in my head. And that's 700. Boy, oh boy, this thing has a date with 700. S&P's continuing the leak here, heading toward the lows of the intraday session. But it looks like Tesla has a date with at least, how low did we get today? 711.23. That takes out this low. Your next daily low is under that. 655. I'm sure Jeremy Newsom doesn't want to hear that. He wrote some puts. I tried to warn him. But what else would you like to cover, Mitch?
Yeah, well, just to bring it up here really quickly, I got the news on Tesla. So it looks like it's trading lower amid JD Power dependability survey. It
Uh-huh.
looks like they rated the base level Model Y as one of the least dependable kind of brands. And man, they're hitting it hard on this. So hard reaction there. And we're getting down there to 717s now.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
for a second there, it looked like Tesla was going to get through that 1,000 mark, but man, what a turnaround!
No, and you talk about things too, and even with a really high price stock like this, half and whole numbers, right? Look at that all time high in Tesla, 90040. 900. So if, like, a lot of people are like, if Tesla gets to 900, I'm going to sell it. Those round, because I mean, you can come up with you can make up a number that you have a level at 900, but there you go. And now you're bearing down on 700. So not a good day here. I got a weekly up there. If I put it on a daily, it's probably going to be more pronounced. But and also, is it competition coming for Tesla? I mean, you talk about all the different the U.S. automakers, and isn't everyone? Aren't there going to be more competition out there?
The real question I think here to ask is from this turnaround, does it ever get back toward that 1,000 mark, Joel? You might have literally
Ever?
ever
Ever?
You could just call out the competition right here, and we could have that turnaround. So. I know the Tesla bulls will be hitting me up on Twitter, but hey, we'll see what happens here.
You know what, Mitch? What am I going to say now when and if this thing has a turn? What am I going to tell you about going back up? Boy,
Hey,
what about all these
overhead
people that?
supply.
There you go, baby. Overhead supply. So you know what? I said I was going to start putting dates on these things because you guys used to say, "Hey, he just put that in there," and that's not as relevant on this chart. That 50%. That's more down at 650. So I'm going to have to do it on this chart here. I like it from the 400. That's because that 400 was a major low. But go ahead, get your next topic while I try and get these retracement lines on here.
All right, guys. So one thing I'll just mention some earnings that are going to come into the close here. One to mention Transocean, RIG is going to be interesting, just because it's been kind of uptrending. But the question is, will this get it above that big resistance that it has at 4? That's what I'm seeing on RIG.
This thing has just been a. What do you think the all-time high is in this one, Mitch?
I honestly don't even know. I try to stay away from these, really, to tell you the truth. Joel, your chart will probably tell us why.
Look at this. I don't even think it was higher than that.
Wow.
Look at that. 160. And there's no stock splits in there, baby. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, oils, for some reason, they must be highly leveraged or something. Let's go to the daily, though. And it had that spike over 4. I don't know. If you get a pop on this, I don't know how good of a report it's going to have. But where'd you have a high? 419 if you're looking for a pop. If you're looking for a drop, looks like you got a couple lows in the $3 area. So there's some, I don't know how many people are active in this in the after hours. I think if you're more of a rebate trader, if you're trading something like this, sitting on the bid and the offer.
Yeah, there's another one in here, Fang, Diamondback Energy, and these companies, are all looking at, the upside in oil prices right now, especially with what happened in Texas. So it'll be interesting what happens here with Fang. And also, I mean, you could look at Oxy for that matter. We'll take a look what happens with these.
Yeah, this one's on its way back. You're not back up to your February high. So that's interesting. You should go and look at February and see where some of your daily highs were. Next major resistance point is $80. I don't think we'll see that. What was this is what I wanted to give people. I wanted to give the recent high of the move at 72.15. So that would be a pretty lofty target if you get a nice earnings report from Diamondback Energy.
All right. So the next up here, I have two that we could go to here. We could either talk about the ratings that were put on the airlines, or we could talk about how the cruises made a move. Also, Trivago, we're up 19% today. A bunch of these companies are up after, kind of the reopening plays are getting hot here.
You know what was a pretty good call, and I don't know if he played it at all, but Triple D was talking about buying the dip in Boeing. He was just like, buy the dip. He just kind of felt like doing it. Let's see. Boeing did recover, but it's leaking back now. It did have a nice rally off the open, but can't hold. Wow. Got to 220, now reversing. So let's see. Yeah, the reopening trade. American Airlines. Oh, that's a nice move, getting back over 21. Heck of a 2-day move. Let's see if we can get back into the 21 handle. That big number for this is 21.77. And if I'm not mistaken, that June pop was in this area too, that crazy June 8th day. Oh, no, that was up at 22.80. So that's been the high for the rebound in AAL. All these airlines, Deutsche Bank really got these things moving to the upside. Let's take a look at JetBlue.
Yeah, that's the one I like, to tell you the truth, in this sector.
That's a
JetBlue
nice
chart.
move there. Yep.
There's a 21 price target on it.
This is getting back. This is well above its February high. So exhibiting really excellent relative strength here, up $1.13. Let's see how Delta's doing. Delta. Boy, that's moving in on 50. That's your next big level for Delta, 49.97. That was that your February high? No, that was your March high. So that was still up there. So keep an eye on that. Your March high, 49. I think they'll probably hit that in early March when we didn't know what the what the lockdowns and things were going to be. But nice looking chart for that. What other UAL? Man, what's the last time you've been on an airplane, Mitch?
Honestly, over a year. It's crazy to think that, but
I got Unilever. I'm like, wow, I was just gonna go out and buy that stock.
I got a question now, Joel. Are you gonna be like me and kind of interested on what plane I'm gonna be flying on when I buy a ticket now? Is it a Boeing?
Yeah.
Is it an Airbus? Can I choose the Airbus above?
You're saying that tongue in cheek, but you know what? I mean, come on. All the problems that Boeing's had on. And I mean, I'm not really afraid of flying. I mean, who likes being suspended, 20,000 feet? I mean, you think about it, in a car accident, right? Even if you roll over, I mean, you're still on the, someone can get to you. But I don't know. My girls, when I fly with my girls, they kind of freak me out, because they're a little bit, I don't know, for some reason, they're a little bit more afraid of flying. But I'll get back on there, and I don't care if it's a Boeing or a Airbus, right? I just, I'll be so happy to do it. I don't care when I'm flying. But UAL, that broke out. That actually broke out of a trading range on Friday. And was it Deutsche Bank that did those upgrades? They took a look at the chart and they said, man, let's goose this thing. And there it is. Not back up to the February high. That's funny. These things really have different chart patterns, but this has 80. It was over $60 in February.
Yeah,
so
that's the price target right there, $60.
Really nice, without even reading it. Okay.
Yeah,
what about
the interesting part there is the
sure.
a hold to a buy. So that's the interesting part there. So
all right, and then how'd RCL do? They lost $5. They should have lost $10. I mean, look at that. They're up 738. They lost $5. Look at that. New high over your February high. Did they say something like super extra positive or something on a call? Or wow, did give some good guidance? I think folks are just ready to get back. Wow.
That's what I think. One thing I mentioned that I noticed is that I saw all the cruise lines coming out with their commercials in the last week. And so I started really seeing these on the public kind of television, just advertisement coming now, and advertisement coming with discounts included, like let's say open bar or certain features to get you to leverage on up and buy up that cruise line. So I think this is the market looking forward out probably about 6 months from here. And the real question is are they in better environment now or in a worse environment? I think you got to ask yourself that question as an investor and see where it goes.
Do you like cruises?
Hey, I can tell you, I haven't taken a cruise in a while,
That
but I used to
yeah.
really like them, especially 7 days where you feel like you really you get out away from society. I think those are the best. So we'll see.
And I probably you heard me say this 100 times, but cruise to Alaska. If you're gonna do a cruise, man, go to Alaska. That is just gorgeous, gorgeous, country, gorgeous state. The water, go up to the glaciers and stuff. So I would do that again, but there'll be no more, that those midnight buffets, right? People hurting up, and things are going to change
The
along
late
those
night
lines.
pizza, though. Late night pizza.
They'll do so. Okay. All right. S&P's the battle for 3880 raging on here in the last 12 minutes of the session. Still above the open from this morning, well below that pre-market high, 3914.50.
All right. So one last one to mention that's interesting, and it's just to like talk about kind of the whole industry is Trivago. Trivago up about 18%. That's TRVG. I'm kind of interested also, and I could take a look at Expedia. We could look at Expedia or Booking with this one if we wanted to look at kind of a bigger one. That's BKNG. But it's interesting to see how these are really changing up now. I think the market's really starting to look past kind of where these travel companies have been kind of held down, and the question is, will it take a big lift? I know Booking, BKNG has a lot of like rentals similar to Airbnb, and so that one's an interesting one because you
Wow.
guys have been seeing Airbnb just react very positively from that high premium IPO price, but still, it's going to be interesting to see these, Joel, in the next
Yeah,
year.
is this a new all-time high for Booking? Heck yeah, look at that. Um, Nothing bad to say about that thing's just been like a laser since January. New all-time high in this kind of environment. I mean, you don't want to fight the trend. Yeah, this is a new all-time high by a wide margin. I do not use, my Lisa does well when we do travel. She's the one that does all those things. So I'm not familiar with those platforms, but that's a good looking chart. And Expedia, I know that had a little turbulence last week, but this one, you don't like to see that kind of candle, folks. I know it made a new high for the move. Is that an all-time high? That can't be. Expedia making an all-time high right now? Man, if that's not reverse logic, it is. It's a new all-time for Expedia. Just don't like that candle. Get up over 166, and now you're bearing down on 160. See this low from yesterday. Ooh, two lows and a 157 handle. So that's good news. Be interesting to see if this thing takes out 157. Your next daily low is at 150. Spoo's losing 38.80 here. That was a short-lived battle. We're back trying to hang in the upper 38.70 handle.
All right. So the kind of last question I have before we get to some tickers from the chat is, how are you feeling about this market environment, Joel? Do you feel like the rates are going to affect kind of the overall market,
I
or do you
do.
feel that we'll get
I do.
through that 4,000 mark?
No, no. I mean, I just go. Just we're putting ourselves further and further away. I'll just go to the cash and the S&P. I mean, we're just distancing ourselves farther and farther from the all-time high that was made last Monday. And when I look at this chart here, and this is the cash, right? So it doesn't incorporate the futures. I mean, come on. I mean, look at this stealth move that we've had. We hit 39.50. Would it be, would it be out of the ordinary for the market to come down to 3,700, 3,750? Have a little bit? It kind of feels like we've already had the reopening. It's like the market's gotten ahead of itself. Everyone's optimistic about the reopening and everything, and it's coming and it's going to be good, but it's kind of like almost feels like a sell the news kind of thing. But I don't like the steepness of that move. We're not even near the February low. We're not, or the low at the end of January. So just like Tesla, you have your moves up quickly up through areas, and then you just kind of hover. I think that's what the S&P's chart's looking like. So I'm not long term bearish. I just think we hit a temporary high.
All right, so I'll show you something that I had drawn out, and I'm kind of following it to see and wondering if it's going to break it on the downside this time. And so I was kind of drawing like a little channel
Sure,
since kind
channels
of
are good. Let me
since
see
like
it.
December 9th and December 10th here. And so we had a high that we first, the 29th of January, I remember that Spencer and I were feeling a little bit bearish, but quickly we rebounded right off that kind of bottom of the trend line here, and then came quickly up to the top. And now I think we're just bouncing back, And the question I think really is the important price point for me on this chart now is going to be that 380. And when we pull back towards that area, are we going to get another bounce up through that 395 and 400 area? But it'll be
Do you
interesting.
remember what was going on at that time when we hit that low and we hit the skids like that? Do you remember what was going on? What we were
Uh,
at the height of?
what were we at the height of?
GameStop.
Oh, the GameStop move and the kind of the rotationary from that
Yeah.
boom.
Yep. Yep. And then because people were selling good stocks to buy bad stocks, I think you had perhaps some excessive speculation. And also, I don't know how many of you people listen to the morning show, but Dennis and I mean, we're big caps. We're investing in big caps. It's just been doing that for 100 years. But like when Apple, I mean, this is not a good looking chart. I mean, no matter how you look at it, they sold this thing off earnings. You can't tell me that this is a bullish chart in any way whatsoever. Now, Apple is coming into an interesting area here, and we've been talking about that. This is where it started its pre-earnings run. Where did we get to today in Apple? 125.60 is getting a little bit of bounce, but I'm going to go. If you want to keep an eye, oh boy, I lost my drawing thing here. Oh no. I'll have to get that back. Boom, right across here. You draw your trend line right across here. And man, that's some major support for Apple to hold. This is where the pre-earnings run started, came back. They sold earnings. They made the all-time high, I believe, on all-time closing high on this day. And then after earnings, it's been sell, 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 sell.
All right, so let's take a ticker from the chat here. Looking like a lot of people are talking about AMC today. I even saw, I think Jason has some AMC, so I'll have to talk to him about that one. I don't know how that one happened, but
Everyone
we'll have to
wants
take a
to
look here.
see. This is a stock that everyone's cheering for, right? Because everyone wants to get out. They want to go to the movies. They want to get things. So this is the height of the reopening trade. Was it worth 20 when it was over 20? No. Did it come back down? I mean, if you're looking to strike in this, then this is probably the area to strike in. Did it quite fill the gap? You needed to get to 515 to fill the gap. You always don't do that exactly. You got to 528. That's good enough for me. The only thing I will say is what was the trend in AMC before the pandemic?
Going down, man.
Right. So the pandemic perhaps accelerated the decline, right? That was coming, that was inevitable anyways. So not for me, not for my long-term money. Like to go, I didn't even go to the movies that much anyways. Maybe go 2-3 times a year, but it should be fun to go and pay $9 for some popcorn. Actually, there's a theater by us that has really cushy chairs and it serves cocktails. So that's a good one to go to.
Yeah,
But
don't
it's
worry,
getting
Joel.
off the mat. I wouldn't want to see it under $5.
I'll invite you to my house. I got cocktails and everything and comfy couches, so don't
Big
worry about that.
screen.
You know it, man. That's the future. That's what I see, and
I
that's
think
why I
so
think
too.
at the end of the day, another thing that factor that played in here was TVs getting cheaper, and so when TVs got cheaper, your home theater got better. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and take a next one here. Looking like we get. Rocket, we'll leave that alone. That's not moving too much. I haven't even sell my position, but we'll continue kind of moving on that one. Let's see what else we got here in the chat being mentioned.
And if we stay on the movie theme,
You could check out CNK.
AMCX. Now that's a much better looking chart, right?
Right.
I like that chart. I would have liked it more if I was looking at it at 45. Folks, these are the simple patterns. These are the kind of patterns that I like to look for. I mean, this is a sign of an institutional accumulation. They're not saying I'm going to pay 46. They're not going to say I'm going to pay 45.75. They say, you know what? Pick me up a zillion shares between 44 and 45. That's the way and they're just patient. And they wait and they wait. And it takes a while to build a position. And then boom, that is a nice move. That is such a better looking chart. They do more production, right? AMCX, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So but that is a much, much better looking chart. And CNK, if you want to stay on the movie theme, they were in better shape before. That's a better looking chart than AMC.
Yeah, and we'll keep watching them as they keep cutting the cords and putting the movies straight to on demand. So that's really what's the view now. Will they take that off? If you see it taken off, I would keep an eye on AMC. If you keep seeing them come out, that could be what could be I think the end driver. All right, so one last more for NVIDIA. What is going on with NVIDIA? I'm getting questions from Ivy here.
Ivy
on the coast.
Oh,
I love the name.
You know, this is just a volatile puppy. That's all I can say about this stock. You hit a benchmark. You took out the 600. I mean, this is just what this stock does. It's volatile and it moves around. And it had to move from under 510 to 610, $100 move. So there's got to be counter trend moves, right, in these things. And there you go. This is a big move, so it's just digesting it. I'll tell you right now, I'd be a little worried. 573.66 was the low on the 10th. He hit 573 today, but I think if you want to give it a little bit more, I mean, and they could do this and open right below it, 568.90. Then you got this big candle here. So, folks, when things go up, especially on the upside, when it goes up something 2-3 days, 4 days, it can go back down in one. What do they say? What a bull eats in a year, a bear scarfs in a day. And there you go. I mean, stocks can climb and climb and climb, and then in one day, look at how it can really take things out. But new all-time high, just pulling back a little bit. Let's see here. I'll get rid of this line because it's no longer relevant. And someone asked about AMD. Let's see how that's holding up. Haven't looked at this chart in a while. Oh man, not a very good typist today. AMD. Oh boy, this is not looking great either. Man, the rotation. It looks like it's coming out. You have the pair. This is a big area for AMD. Wow, 85.21 today, 84.66. I see another low at 85. Go back here. This is big. This is big for AMD. Looking kind of heavy here. Well, I better look at Intel. Is Intel getting killed too? Yeah, Intel's getting killed too. I dipped my toe in that couple week or so ago. And I think that I thought the mobile chips were going to do a little bit more, but obviously not working today. So there we go. We're at the close. Where's the ding, ding, ding? Did I miss it?
Oh, you might have missed it. You might have missed it there. But I'll let you guys know really quickly. Tomorrow before the open, we got Macy's, Home Depot, Armstrong World Industries, and Metatronic. So we'll be watching those in the morning. See how those do.
Okay.
How are we looking here at the close? How's the chart?
Well, let me pull up the S&P here. I mean, we leaked. We didn't take out that intraday low. We're actually 3 points from that 9:30 open. So the Bulls gave it their shot today, but they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get us past 39.03 here. That was a close from yesterday. You are closing below last week's low. So if you want to keep an eye on a number overnight, we got to regain 36.80.50. That might not be too bad because we're right here right now. Things kind of open up on the downside. If we take out that low, I'll just call the low today 61.25. I'll throw that in with the February 5th low. Under that, it gets a little wide open. So keep an eye on that low from today, or you could be seeing 38.30. On the upside, that intraday high, 38.99 a quarter. That's right near the close on Friday. So you get a pop near 3,900 overnight. I think you'll see some sellers.
All right, guys. And so remember, like always, guys, all content is informational purposes only, not to be used as investment advice. Opinions do not represent those of Benzinga, and hosts and guests may maintain positions in these securities discussed. And it looks like we got Jason trying to jump in here. I can't blame him.
No, it's just a great show, and I just don't know if you're ending at 4. I wanted to take over if I can because there's a couple earnings plays that a few of us in the YouTube thing
Could
are
you just
playing.
tell me how the game went on Sunday? I couldn't make it.
Yeah, they won. They won. It was definitely tougher than it should have been, the game. We made some like bad defensive plays, but we won, and yeah, that's the story.
Does this set the stage for next Sunday? Or
Oh yeah.
okay,
It does.
we'll talk about that later. Take
It
it
does.
away, Raz.